Hi, this is Dr. Weideman, and this short video will help you get familiarized with our Angel course and also the My Stat Lab course. The handout that I have up on the screen right now is available in the Introductory Materials folder. We'll go there in just a second. Let's go over to Angel, to our course, and when you first come into our course, you'll always come into what I call the home page, and you can see your messages here. You can see a link to the syllabus, which is also the same linked syllabus that you see on the syllabus tab. There's some general institutional links that you might find helpful. Library services, Smart Thinking, which is an online tutoring system, student technical support, things like that that you might find helpful. Again, syllabus tab has the syllabus. Let's go over to the calendar tab, and all the due dates for the course are going to be listed here. First thing coming up is our weekly chat on Tuesday night, May 20th at 6:30. I'll talk about that more in a second. The first set of big due dates is June 2nd, which is all the materials from assignments from the week 1 and week 2. They'll be due on Monday, June 2nd at 11 o'clock. Let's go over to the course materials page. And this is where all the materials for the course are going to be located. So the introductory materials includes the required syllabus quiz. And when you click on this, a little cartoon to start us out. Here's the video that you're watching right now. This is the handout that I showed you over here before. It's in here. Here's a list of things to do first to get you started. Here's Angel tutorials if you're not familiar with Angel. Another link, the same course syllabus. The course calendar, which will also be available at the end of the handout that I'm going over with you now. Textbook information, My Math Lab materials. Notice the ID for the class here. Registration instructions, a registration guide, and a My Stat Lab tip sheet, and you need that course ID when you go to register for the course in My Stat Lab. And it's critical that you get that access kit as soon as possible. You can set up a temporary account in My Math Lab for 2 weeks, so you really need to get registered because you're going to have assignments due during the first 2 weeks. Proctor testing information, we'll talk more about that in a minute. Top 5 myths about distance learning. Please take a minute to read that. It'll kind of get you focused on what an online course is all about. Syllabus quiz, this is due on June 2nd, and you have to complete this to get access to the remaining Angel course materials. And let's continue on this page here. Here's a link to my instructor page. Here's a link to view your grades. This link I think is a better link than using the one up here on grades and reports. This will show you a quick snapshot of your grades at that point in time. Analysis of quiz answers. Each week after quizzes are due, I'll post an analysis of the questions that were missed by students, and that might help you as you're reviewing your results. Weekly chat sessions. In this class, we'll have a weekly chat every week on Tuesday night at 6:30. If you're going to attend, here's a link to it. We use this website here, which is an online whiteboard. If you're not able to attend, you can use the same link to view the video later, so it's recorded. If you're using Firefox, and I don't know if you can see the top portion on here, but there's a little lock next to the URL, and sometimes it blocks things. So if this is not opening for you, check that out. The other thing you could do is right-click on it and say open it in a new window, and that will sometimes get you by any blocks that are there. And then the unit folders, there's units which contain 3 to 4 chapters, and within those there are chapter folders. So let's go in and take a look, and notice there's a message up here. If you don't see anything in this folder, okay, and there should be chapter folders, then you haven't completed the syllabus quiz with a score of 100%. You want to go back and do that. So let's take a look at chapter 2 folder. They're all set up in the same format. First you'll see a little graphic from the textbook, the learning objectives, the chapter objectives here. Chapter handouts and practice. It'll talk about the My Math Lab, My Stat Lab homework assignment. There's always a chapter handout. There's always a PowerPoint handout. And in the chapters where we use technology, the Stat Crunch program, which is in My Stat Lab, I'll show you that in a minute, there'll be a video. And then the quiz will be here. And then if there's a discussion topic, it'll be linked right here. And then there's a related materials folder, which contains interesting websites, tutorials, things, videos sometimes, depending on the chapter. Okay, so let's go over to your My Stat Lab course. And when you first go in, let's go to the home. This is what you'll see when you get registered. You'll have a home page here with a calendar. It'll show you due dates coming up. And on the navigation bar on the left-hand side, there's access to an ebook under chapter contents. So click that open, and I'm going to go ahead and look at chapter 2. And this is the same as the printed book. When you get in here and you click on multimedia ebook, it will come up, and I've already got it up here, so let's go with the one I had up. Here we go. And then over here you'll have a navigation bar again if you want to go through the chapter and read the materials in here. One thing I'd like to point out, sometimes in the quizzes I will have you go to a particular problem in the ebook at the end of a chapter, and for instance on this one, if we go to page 40, I want to show you what the links look like to StatCrunch. So here's a problem here, and there's a StatCrunch link. If you click on this, it'll take you to the StatCrunch program. We'll talk about that in a minute, and it'll pull the data in that's you're going to use to work that problem. And so that's what I mean when I say navigate in the ebook to exercise 37 at the end of chapter 2, and click on the StatCrunch link, and it'll open the data set for you right in StatCrunch. Okay, so let's go back and let's take a look at StatCrunch. Here's the link to StatCrunch right here. And you're probably always going to be doing data sets from your textbook. And then these are organized by chapter. So we were just working on chapter 2. And so down here, again, in the quiz, I may say go to chapter 2 StatCrunch data sets and open up tattoo data set, let's say. And again, we'll work on this further in the course as we get along, but this is where the link is to StatCrunch. Okay, so let's go back to the handout that you have to get you started. We went over these things here. A couple other things I want to mention. There's a proctored midterm and final exam for this course, and they're given at the 4 main campuses. You don't have to make an appointment. The dates are listed on the calendar in Angel and also in the syllabus. If you live out of the area, you'll need to identify a proctor local to you. I do not use ProctorU. There's a link in the syllabus to get you started on that process. To be successful in the course, you have to keep up with the weekly assignments, and I would recommend printing out this weekly schedule, which I've included in this handout, and putting it close to your computer so you can check off as you complete assignments. One thing to note, the MyStatLab homework can be reworked after the due date as long as you access the homework at least once before the due date. The quizzes are in Angel. You get 2 attempts. The quizzes are based on pools, so be careful when you're at second attempt. It may not be the same questions. And I don't extend due dates. Our due dates are always going to be Monday at 11 o'clock, except week 1 materials extended a week to give you a chance to get your feet on the ground and get comfortable with the course. So I look forward to working with you. Feel free to use the course email to contact me if you have any questions.